What is up, guys? Welcome to day one of the three-part series. I'm really excited to help you guys navigate through this. If you haven't already watched the first part, don't worry, but I would recommend catching up on that, the prequel, which was last Monday, ready for the rest of the next couple of days. Just gives you a little bit of a background, a little bit of basic knowledge, because we're going to be building upon the day before each day. So today I'm going to be building on last week's, tomorrow on today, and so on and so forth. Okay, so if you can catch up on that, fantastic. If you need the link or wherever, just drop it in the comments or DM me and I will shoot that over to you. No worries. Okay, so let's share my screen. Always, there it is. Okay, cool. Okay, so can Kat Harper, can you see my screen? Cool, fab. I can see you, that's why I've chosen you. Okay, so let me move this thing. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about unlocking the secrets. There's no secrets because I'm going to tell you everything, right? I'm not one of these people who are gatekeeping the information that you need. In fact, I'm going to just tell you absolutely everything. If you've got any questions, I'm happy to answer them as best as possible. So, brief overview. If you haven't seen last week's Power Hour, this is kind of what we covered. We covered TDEE, which is your total daily energy expenditure, the amount of calories you burn each day, and how you do it. Obviously, everyone thinks about exercise, but I blew that out the water with science, the actual science that says how much we actually burn with exercise. What is gut health? What are hormones? The endocrine system, the importance of these on weight loss, and one tip to implement. The one tip was adding more plants, which I hope all of you, if you have seen that one, have started, because by now your gut microbiome is probably thrilled. They're probably really, really happy. And hopefully you've started to see a difference, whether that is you're less bloated, maybe you've got more energy, maybe you're feeling fuller, maybe you're not snacking as much. You've probably got some sort of change if you've been adding these in, okay? Now, creating more microbiome is not something that is done, in a week, and balancing hormones can take months and months and years sometimes to balance. But as best as possible, we want to look for the quick wins and the low-hanging fruit. So today, I've already mentioned, we've got a special announcement. But before that, someone's raised their hand. Is there something I can help you with? Maybe it's an accident. Maybe they can't hear me. If someone could drop in the chat and ask them if there's a problem, that would be fantastic. Thank you. Because I can't find the chat right now. There it is. Okay, so maybe Shelby, if you're in here, if you could reach out and ask Samsung SMG991B if there's a question, then let me know. Okay, cool. So the special announcement I'm going to announce at the end. So you got to stick around or you won't find out, wherever's up to you. So what we're going to cover today is lifestyle and hormones. Okay, so it's a symbiotic relationship, which means like they work together. When you do one thing, that's going to impact the other, and that thing is going to then impact that, and it's a roundabout. Okay, so every single choice that we make in life, literally in life, every single day life, is going to either take us towards better hormonal and gut health or away from hormonal and gut health care. You might be like, well, what about my partner? That is the biggest, that is one of the biggest stresses in life. This is the person you're going to spend more time with, apart from yourself, and that time with your partner, for example, just grows. Our relationship with friends decline as we get older. Our relationship with parents, obviously, they pass, that decreases. Siblings decreases. The amount of time you spend with your partner constantly increases until one of you die, right? So that is a really, really big one. Where you sleep, where you travel, if you have kids, like all of these, what you eat, are all going to make a real difference to your hormonal health. Okay, so 3 things I'm going to talk about today. Well, kind of. How and when you sleep. That is one of the most important things. How you manage stress, also, and then what you eat. Okay, that's the one that everyone's like, well, obviously. Yeah, obviously. So let's jump in on this journey. Sleep and circadian rhythm. Has anyone heard of your circadian rhythm before? Yeah, you might also know it as the body clock. Okay, so everyone's like, oh, my body clock is out of sync. It's your circadian rhythm. So your circadian rhythm is the key cog in your whole body. Remember last week I spoke about the cog that turns the other cogs around? Well, this is the main one. And it's an internal clock that your whole body is based on. So if your circadian rhythm is off, then that means your other cogs are going to be thrown off as well. So, for example, if your circadian rhythm is off, you might find you hungry at weird times. You might feel you're tired halfway through the day and wired before you go to sleep. You might find your digestion's off. Any of these things. Your menstrual cycle could be off. In fact, like just traveling, when I went to Mexico last year, the time difference screwed my menstrual cycle up. I was like 10 days late. And girls, we know that stress, we know that trauma, right? We don't need that when we're on holiday. So that can actually be thrown off by your circadian rhythm. And likewise, your circadian rhythm can be thrown off by things in your life. For example, menopause and perimenopause. The way or the amount of secretion and the duration and the timing of the secretion of like estrogen and progesterone will then throw off other things in your body, things like the ability to handle cortisol, for example, which is stress. We'll talk about that soon. And that is going to be thrown off. If you have got perimenopause or if you go through perimenopause and menopause, you might find you're up through the night, hot sweats, for example, hot flashes, and you might feel like tired and wired. This is going to impact your sleep, which is then going to impact everything else. Okay, so there's a couple of things, even down to like the time that you eat is a big stressor or trigger for your circadian rhythm. So has anyone here got a dog? Surely someone in here. There you go. Cool. Do your dogs, or does your dog know as soon as it's dinner time, even if you don't mention the word food? Your dog is like sat at the like bowl and they're like looking really cute, or 5 minutes before he's like, come on, don't forget about me. This is because your dog's body clock is saying, okay, now is the time that we normally eat. It's time. Unless they're like really hungry, just consistently, like one of mine. Generally, it knows what time food is. You can't tell the time, right? I know dogs are really smart, but I don't think, as far as I know, they can tell the time. So your body runs in exactly the same way. Your body knows when it's time to do certain things. Yeah, exactly. Dinner and bed. Yes, yeah. Standing by the door, ready to go for last wee wee poo poo before sleep. So what can we do? What is the most important thing that affects your circadian rhythm? This is sleep. And more so actually is the dark light cycle. Okay, so darkness and the light in your life. So when we think about the sky, obviously, normally in most places it's blue. In the UK, it's grey, but in most places it's blue, right? So we've got this blue light. And when I speak, I generally speak about the evolutionary approach to things, how we have evolved as human beings and as a human species. So that it's very like sciencey, um, and that's the way I like to think about how we've evolved as people. Not like we've just come here, here we are now. Nothing before has ever applied. I always think about the way that we've grown and evolved. So when we were cave people, we had darkness at nighttime, we had daylight at daytime, and can anyone guess or does anyone know what we had in between? So before we went to bed, but after the sun went down, does anyone know what happened in between? Can anybody guess? Food? Yeah, I guess so. Dusk. There we go. Dusk. Yeah. Um, Let me just read this. I know it's a massive difference from when I left my curtains open at night. Yeah, when I just wanted them closed. And now natural light fills the room each morning. Yeah, perfect. Dusk and dawn. Yes. So, and what color generally is the sky? Dusk and dawn. You know, in a good on a good day when it's not grey. Any kind of like color examples. Grey, blue, maybe blue, pink. Yeah, pink. Pink sky at night and all that kind of stuff. Orangey, beautiful, yeah. Pink, yeah. So it's pinky, orangey kind of thing. The other thing that we would do as well after that, when the sun set and we were ready for bed, that's when we would light a fire, right? And the fire is also like an ambery, orangey kind of color as well. So our body now recognizes or has evolved recognizing darkness, light, blue. I've got Kathy's picture, stunning, and this orangey, like fire kind of color. So if there's three colors we should have in our life, they are those three colors, right? And this is what I like to call light therapy. So if you are going to bed, you know, it's like, it's been a stressful day, guys. I'm going to whack out my phone here, have a little scroll through what's happening on social media and Instagram. Look, that light is called a blue light, which replicates daytime, right? The blue sky. And so the body's going, that is daytime. We need our cortisol, our stress hormone, to be high. We don't need melatonin or serotonin. We don't want the sleepy hormones right now. We just want to be awake. Okay, well, let's think. Let's get ready to digest food. Let's get ready to hunt. Let's get ready to do all these things. When really, that's like the worst thing we need at night, right? We want to be like chilled. We want to be relaxed. We want to be calm and ready for sleep. So by looking at our phones last thing at night, you are disrupting your circadian rhythm. I'm not sure if I really agree with or know how much they work, but the blue blocker glasses, I think they've got to be pretty expensive for them to actually work. And the blue light blocker on your phone, again, I don't think it's worth risking your health for, right? So ideally, you don't want to be doing that. And the same when you wake up, you don't want to be on your phone. A couple of reasons. First reason is the stress, basically, and the artificial light. But you want to get up and go outside or sit by the window. If you're in the UK when it's cold and wet all the time, but sit by the window, get some daylight onto you as early as possible. Okay, they're the two things you can do. So when you go to bed, darkness. When you're getting up, daylight. Okay, and then in between, if it's 4 o'clock and it's dark because it's winter, we want to be using amber lights. Okay, so if you can change your light bulbs to warm lighting, that's really, really going to help with our circadian rhythm. There are other things you can do, like meal timings, that can also help with your hormone secretion, but I'm not going to go too far into that. So, can anyone tell me what happens if you've had a bad night's sleep? I'm going to open the chat so I can see it. But tell me what happens if you've had a rubbish night's sleep. Grumpy, tired, yeah. So, what do you do then? You're grumpy, Sam, lethargic, hungry, moody and snappy, yeah. And what do? You've had a rubbish day at work, and then you get home and I know we're all thinking, just say it, eat, yeah. Snack, yeah, eat. What's, gonna murder broccoli when I go home. Like no one says that, right? Everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna have a glass of wine, sugar, yes, caffeine, throws everything off. Yeah. So what you'll notice in the way I like to teach as well, I try to get the behavioral effect in because science will say calories in versus calories out and all that kind of stuff. But what is the behavioral effect of these choices that we are making? It's not as easy as like A equals B. Okay. We need to think about, so what does that mean? So yeah, as soon as you're tired, you've had a bad night's sleep, maybe like me last night, you were like worried about everything in the whole world for whatever reason at 2 o'clock in the morning. The next day, you're probably going to be more hungry. You're probably going to be tired. You're probably not going to want to make like a healthy dinner. You can be like, just get me a takeaway. I don't care where it is. Just get me the wine, give me the chocolate, wherever. Okay. So it's very unlikely that you're going to make good choices. And then even if you've been quote unquote good all week, that then means that you've just probably destroyed your deficit by, eating loads of crap the next day. And also someone mentioned caffeine as well, which is a really, really good point. That is going to affect your sleep. Lots of people say, no, I'm fine. No, I'm sorry. No, it's not fine. Your body, I mean, within neurodiversity, it can help, but the negative effects far outweigh the positive effects with caffeine, okay? And that's a stimulant. It's going to make our brain wired and it's not going to shut everything down. So when we go to sleep, everything shuts down, including the digestive system. And even if the digestive system is not shut down, we will not get a good quality sleep. So it's not just about how long we're in bed, but the quality of it as well. So the sleep-wake cycle, which I've just mentioned, hormones like cortisol, melatonin, growth hormone, and others, that happens when we're asleep as well. And they are triggered. Growth hormone is secreted when we're asleep, which rebuilds everything. But the other hormones are timed throughout the day based on a circadian rhythm. And other things that are affected, mood and emotions, which you've already mentioned, body temperature. So if you are struggling with hot flashes, perhaps this is something you need to look into. Metabolism, as we know, this is the amount of calories that you burn throughout the day, so healthily. Your cardiovascular function, your digestive function, your cognitive function, your immune system function, so pretty much all of your body is based on the sleep-wake cycle. And in fact, studies now showing that you are more, I can't remember the exact numbers, but it's basically if you get good night's sleep, you're like less likely to get sick within 2 years or something like that. I'll see if I can find the study for you guys. But yeah, the immune system is massive on there as well. Any questions so far? No. Okay, very clear. Good. Okay, so how do we fix it? Go to bed and wake up the same time every day. But I don't want to. Well, have bad metabolism then. Increase your risk of cancer. Decrease your cognitive function. Whatever you want to do, right? It's up to you. I'm just going to give you the tips. So going to bed or having a good wake and sleep schedule has been proven to be more important than the quality or the quantity of your sleep. So you might have shitty sleep, but if you go to sleep and wake up the same time, that's going to be, you're going to feel better the next day. And so your body is going to be running better than if one night you're like 10 o'clock, the other night 8 o'clock, I was knackered. The next night I stayed up till 4 in the morning because we're wild. And on that, actually, it takes your body a week, approximately up to a week, to readjust. So if you've pulled an all-nighter or like 4 a.m. or something, your body will take up to a week to get back into a rhythm. Okay, so that's the detriment of doing stuff like that. Once off is fine, isn't it? But you got to make sure then the next, that week you're probably going to be hungry, moody, fall behind, off nutrition, all that kind of stuff. Have a consistent bedtime routine. This is really, really important as well. Things like get excited to go to bed. Do what you want in bed, guys, but be excited to get there. Okay, I'm not gonna give you ideas, naughties. Have a good morning routine as well. So again, waking up, getting outside, or sitting by a window or something, or if you've got a luminary lamp, so a lamp that kind of wakes you up. It's an alarm, but it's a light alarm. That's going to be helpful. And like someone mentioned, having the curtains open in the morning, getting the daylight in is super important as well. Lower stress, because when we're stressed, we can't get sleep. And even if you can, you wake up in the middle of the night, I can tell you. So lower it as much as possible. Have good sleep hygiene. So sleep hygiene is the environment. It's not like, make sure you get washed before you go to bed. It's having a good environment. So things like dark, think of a cave. Remember I said I like to think about the evolution. Caves, dark and cool. Okay, they're the two, and cold even. They're the two kind of things that we want, okay? And quiet, of course, quiet. Avoid your phone, especially social network and social media and work, because that is going to increase your stress levels. Even if you don't check your work emails, if you're just on social media because it's my wind down time, has anyone ever not been pissed off because they've seen someone on social media? Like, why are they like that? Why have they got that? Why aren't I ever going to be like that? Oh God, that person. We don't want that before we go to sleep, right? Let's just keep it out of our system. Keep it until like midday the next day. And then limit caffeine and use caffeine timing. So making sure that up to 8 hours before bed, we are not drinking caffeine. We can switch to decaf, but don't drink caffeine. So that's Holly in here. I ended up with A&E with all my kids on Friday, a long shift at work, split my whole weekend. Yep. As I've been having early nights, it does affect you. Yeah. Louise Sometimes we can't change things, A&E is a problem, but it's a priority, isn't it? I mean, you could have let the kids go by themselves, but but yeah, just get back into it as much as possible. Get back into the routine, the same timing, all of those kinds of things. Nutrition, timing, as much as possible as well. Okay, so our stress response. Holly's come just in time. So Holly's our mindset coach. So stress response. So when we are stressed, we think of fight, flight, or freeze. Okay, so think about getting attacked by a saber-toothed tiger. Your body shuts down certain processes because it's saying, "Hey, we don't need to digest food right now. We need to run away from this, or we're gonna die." Right? Unfortunately, that response that we've had through evolution has not evolved at the same pace as our lifestyles have. So now when we get a stressful text or email, when we're like, your manager says, "Can I see you tomorrow?" You're like, "Oh my," that stress, that is your body going, saber-toothed tiger. And although some of our bosses may seem like saber-toothed tigers, some of the time, they are not going to actually kill us, I hope. But that's how the body responds to it. Okay, so we really need to make sure that we are managing that as much as possible. And then the liver will release stored glucose, so sugar essentially, into the bloodstream so that we can then run. You've probably seen when like something's happened to a kid, a mum is like thrown off a car or like sprinted at superhuman speed or whatever. That is what's happening here. Because the body is like, let's do this quick. It's a survival mechanism. Okay. Um, so as I said, this is great if we're running away from like a dinosaur or something. But if we've sent an awkward email or the kids are playing up or because you feel like you've got no time, that's a big stressor. That is not a good response. But we can't tell our body not to respond like that because it's natural. So we can't override it. We just need to be able to manage it as best as possible. So constant stress can have long-term health implications, such as, maybe I put on the next slide actually, but such as increased fat storage, including and mostly belly fat, and um, insulin resistance. So then if you've got PCOS already, you've got insulin resistance, or perimenopause, you going towards insulin resistance, diabetes, like that is going to really like amplify those problems. Okay, so we along with other things like increased blood pressure, um, risk of heart attacks, risk of CV, problems, all of these kinds of things all come or can be exacerbated by stress. So, acute versus chronic. It's not cute, it's acute. So that's like a short-term thing that happens. Maybe you've got a tight deadline, or you've got an unexpected challenge, or you're encountering a sudden threat. Maybe you're driving and someone like pulls in front of you, you nearly crash. You're like, that kind of like thing. That's what happens really, really quickly. Chronic stress, unfortunately, is way, way, way more common. And this is what the majority of us suffer with and struggle with. So long-term problems, when you're like always worrying about something and always thinking about something, you never just having a good time. Like that never happens because you're always thinking about work. You're always got that deadline. You're always doing the kids pickup. You're always taking them here, there, and everywhere. If something happens, you're the one that's got to be there. You're looking after your parents. Like all of these things. Maybe your partner just does your idea most of the time. Like, because you got to look after them because they're, man, lazy. Then typically that is the kind of stress that we are mostly under, and that is really detrimental to health. Acute stress, yes, we can deal with, and that effect, that response, the stress response is fine and deal with, we can deal with it. When it's chronic, though, the body doesn't know that difference between like there's something that's fine and there's something that's gonna, potentially kill me. So the body will respond exactly the same way. And on that note, the body doesn't know the difference between mental and physical stress either. So if you are being, I don't know why, but maybe someone's pushed you and you're in a fight kind of thing. Like Cam used to fight Muay Thai, so he had to have that stress response to be able to finish that fight. Versus, something that is not so stressful. Well, we don't feel as stressful, but it's consistently ongoing, right? We don't need the same response there. So we've just got to be really careful. So yeah, the acute response, sorry, the physical response of like being in a fight versus send an email, having a deadline, those kinds of things. Okay, mental and physical, they got the same response. The body's smart, but it's not that smart. So how stressed are you guys? And is it mostly chronic or is it mostly acute? I would like to know. Let me open the chat. I mean, Louise went to A&E on Friday, so her stress was probably very, very high. Hopefully now it's come back down, but that was an acute piece of stress as well. Chronic, I think when people got kids, I think because of chronic stress. I think if you've got kids or a job or a partner, or if you don't have any of those things, you're normally stressed. Sam's not though. She's fantastic. Probably because she's a client and has learned to work on these things. She's learned to navigate these things. Moderate and more acute side. That's good. Not working has certainly helped with the stress levels, and one way but adds more to it in others. Exactly, yeah. Chronic, but trying, yeah. And that's what I think most of us will suffer with or struggle with in life. I don't think there's many people that's chill. Not too bad today. Is this day off? It's good. It's good, Kat. Seem to overreact with acute things these days, Sue. Yeah. Chronic, but learning to manage it. Cool, Jackie. So I will talk about what Sue said there when you overreact. So I think of stress. I wasn't going to go into this, but we're here. I think of stress as a pot of boiling water, like a saucepan of boiling water, right? Now, if say this is the saucepan and your stress is here, as soon as something stressful happens, like you have to go to A&E or where someone's you've burnt the dinner, wherever it's gonna be, your stress will overflow. You know, like when you're cooking spaghetti or rice or something in the bowl, the saucepan, it all comes off. If we can manage our stress, so we're here at a simmer constantly, if we get stressed, they'll go and they'll come back down, right? We don't come over that flowing section. So our goal is always to bring the cortisol level, your stress level, down as much as possible. So it's simmering at a low because we do want that stress. We do want a bit of stress, but not so much that we are like, gonna snap and say mean things. We don't want that. I mean, I could have said something more aggressive then, but saying mean things is bad enough, I think. Okay. Okay, so we don't know. Cool. So what? What's the behavioral effect? What happens when you're stressed, guys? So what? What is the behavioral effect? Let's see. Eat. There we go. Eat more. Eat or don't eat, yeah. Angry, become very snappy, sometimes snappy and nappy cat is. Eat or drink alcohol, cortisol rises, yeah. So we have these cry and eat, yeah, tired. Yeah, tired as well. So you can't sleep. Now you're tired, but you're stressed, so you can't sleep. So you're more tired, and this now feeds into the first one, which was sleep. So I'm good, happy to see you guys are getting this. Comfort, eating, and crabby, which is a very American way of saying getting pissed off all day. When you stress about, yeah, not sleeping, yeah, eat chocolate, yeah. Um, we stress eat, right? Doom scrolling, yeah, trying to get some escapism, which then increases our stress hormone, which you don't want. And then we can't sleep, then we get pissed off, and this whole thing, goes round and round and round. So even if you're like, you know what, I don't care about fixing my stress because it's calories in versus calories out. Well, look, we've just said that the behavioral effect of you being stressed is that you're going to eat more. Okay, so maybe it is calories in, calories out, but if you're stressed, you're less likely to be able to manage that. Is it calories in versus calories out? We'll find out tomorrow. But always think about the behavioral effect of these, right? What is the consequence of X? What is the consequence of Y? All right. How do we fix stress? Be single. Do daily gratitude. So being thankful for anything and everything, right? This has been proven to decrease stress and increase mood, decrease depression and anxiety, thoughts of and low mood and thoughts of negative thoughts. So what are you grateful for? It could be anything, right? Everyone's like, oh, I am going to be grateful for. You've got eyes, you've got hair, you've got a voice, you're listening to me, you've got an internet connection, like anything, your dog. Like, is there anything worth being more grateful for than a dog? Guys, let's be honest, or cat if you sound pratly. But people around us, our experiences, our imagination, our creativity, anything, we need to find gratitude. Um, there was a study, I do like quoting some studies. There was a study where people with low mood wrote 20 minutes a day a gratitude letter to someone. They didn't have to give it to the person, but they just wrote for 20 minutes a gratitude letter to someone or three different people. So for 3 days, and their mood increased for 6 months. So just that 1 hour across 3 days, 20 minutes, increased their mood by 6 months. Like that is a worthwhile return on investment, right? You invest an hour, you get 6 months of better mood. I think that's a bloody bargain. Kathy says, yes, except for when he's barking. Well, be grateful that he's there barking, Kathy. That's what I would say. Practice mindfulness. And now I know a lot of people, in fact, we had a special guest speaker on our coaching call last night. And she was saying about, being self-love and, all this kind of stuff. And I was like, what if that makes people feel ick? She was like, we need to love ourselves and we need to she was very passionate, very, very good. But mindfulness is a similar thing where people are like, oh, I'm not doing that. What's the alternative? Be stressed. Um, Sam says, oh, actually, let me just go back. Whilst walking the dog, just stop and listen to the birds and the trees. Yeah, abundance. There's an abundance of all of those things, isn't there? Sam Patty says, I'm grateful for the lessons you and Cam have passed on to me. Yeah. And I'm grateful for allowing us to be part of that journey, Sam. £100 down. Bloody awesome. Yeah, be logical and not emotional. I know this is very like, oh, you can't just do that. Sometimes we can. Okay, sometimes we can be like, right, let's take a breath. Am I overreacting here? What is actually going on? Do I actually need this chocolate or do I need this? Did they mean to say that? Did they mean to make me feel that way? Did they mean to stand me up? No, they were late because there was an accident and the bus crashed and whatever. Like, let's use our logical brain and not jump to conclusions. I know what we're like, right? They say don't jump to conclusions. We're like bouncing, but let's try and, do a hop less frequently. So take some self-care time as well. This is something that we spoke about last night on that call. People feel guilty, but it's better to have that self-care time when you're relaxing, bring the stress down so you can have better sleep and better quality time with your friends and family and by yourself. Mindfulness has changed my life, says Jackie. Amazing. And how easy is that? You don't have to pay for mindfulness. You can just do it. It doesn't take long. You just do it. And let's change your life. Again, I love an ROI, but that is high, isn't it? Last few months have definitely made me more mindful and daily gratitude with things I've achieved each day. Susan Parker. My workouts are my me time. We'll speak about that tomorrow, Claire. That's what I'm doing tonight. Twilight swim. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Lovely. And being in nature obviously is like really good. I didn't put that in, but it is. Take self-care time, share your problems. Problem half. No, problem shared is a problem halved, as they say. And find solutions. When our clients say like, oh, this is happening, I say, come to the table with some solutions as well. Come to us, say, this is happening. I can't control my food because I'm going out for food or wherever, I've got to go for work thing. Okay, well, give me a solution to that. So we're making them more autonomous. Well, okay, I can't like control the food, but maybe I can make sure I'm hitting my protein by taking some snacks. Maybe I can make sure I'm going for a walk, after it or wherever it's going to be. Maybe I can calorie cycle throughout the week to get there. So it's about sharing problems, about finding solutions. Don't just go to your friend and be like, oh, this is happening. Because wherever your friend says, you can be like, I don't care, this is not, because we're being emotional and not logical, right? Breath work is really, really good. And of course, get good sleep. See how this is all like together? All righty. Let's see, where are we? Ha ha. We're nearly done. The third pillar is what you eat. So it's not just about how much you eat, but also the quality, as you guys know now, because of the gut health situation. And sometimes even when you eat is going to be important as well. So can you eat certain things at certain times? to have a better digestive process, to have a better weight loss journey, an easier weight loss journey. Who wants to know about nutrition and about all of the food, the diet, and all that kind of stuff? Yeah, yeah. Tomorrow, okay? So I know you're all Sam. Sarah don't care, but we're gonna do this tomorrow, right? So I told you this is gonna be a short one, but we are gonna talk about this tomorrow because it's such a big subject. So um, that is what we'll talk about tomorrow, as well as exercise, which I mentioned just now. So exercise and nutrition is tomorrow. Very excited. And it was going to build on what we said today. Okay, so make sure obviously you've taken notes, that you've been here, you're caught up, and you're ready to learn tomorrow. Super excited. Special announcement. All right. Who loves a special announcement? I do. Yeah, you guys. Okay, so we have got a 7-day challenge. Now, for anyone that's been in our group or in our spatial awareness or in our space for a long period of time, you will know our challenges are super, super popular. They like literally change people's lives. A lot of our clients come from there, but some people are not clients, like who is in here? Susan Parker. Susan Parker is not a client, but she has done a challenge. She had to change her life. She's still making gains from it. So super, super wonderful, basically. It's like the best thing. I like to say that our free challenges are better than most people's paid programs, right? That's how bloody confident I am at this. So, what is this one about? Because we always have like a theme. So, this one is about an immersion to fast track your results. It's called the implementation. Okay. So, today was about like the knowledge and everything. And so, I've given you some knowledge, I've given you the reasons why. Tomorrow, I'm going to give you more knowledge and more reasons. But it's pointless to know all this stuff unless you implement. Okay. So, this is called the implementation 7-day challenge. Very catchy, I know. I just wanted to get to the point. Okay, so personal pro, what do you get? Immersion to fast track results. So we're going to be immersed in this. I like to call them pressure cookers. If anyone's done our challenge before that's in here, you will know it's very like boom, 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 boom. It's very community based. It's a lot of information. It's a lot of doing. And it's basically fast tracking you to get to where you want to be. Louise can't hear anything. Can anyone know? Can you hear me, guys? Okay, fab. Oh, yeah, I'm back. Okay, cool. I just probably spoke too fast. So you get a personal profile and account on our app. You get support from other action takers. Hey, hey, all of our clients in the group, and the other people in the challenge. Tasks every day to give you more energy and to lose belly fat. Exercises to support you on your healthy hormone journey, and information sessions. Okay, so a bit like these, but from each of our coaches. So eating for maximal nutrition absorption and improving microbiome diversity. I'll think of something more catchy, but that's basically what that is. Thyroid issues and effect on weight loss, lowering cortisol, stress management, and mindfulness, and shifting your limiting beliefs and becoming your dream archetype. And also, you get group coaching calls just like this. Okay, so well, I say just like this, they are a community call where we will have a chat. We talk about maybe what you learned previously, what you're struggling with, what your wins are, and we really build up that community where we are supporting each other because that is like the most important thing. Okay, so there's 30 spots, and I'm sticking this time to a limit. Our clients, before you ask, yes, you get access. You do not need to apply, okay, for our clients. You get access anyway. So you don't count in that 30 spots, because 30 spots other people. Give them a chance. Honorary members. And it starts on Monday. Okay, so we had 1-day session. Now we've got a 3-day session. And now this is going to be a 7-day immersion challenge. Okay, so we're going to implement everything we've learned because I've given you a lot of information and you might be like, where do I start? We're gonna go through it, teach you anything else, a little bit more detail kind of stuff. And then we're gonna just basically change your life in 7 days. So if you want in, you need to apply here, bit.ly or bit/ly. I think it's bit.ly / hormone harmony challenge. Okay, hormone harmony challenge. I think it's bit.ly. I don't know why it's got a /. maybe both work. So that is where you apply. I'm going to leave that there for a second while I check through these comments. Can you drop the link here? Oh no, because I haven't got it copied to my clipboard. Be an action taker and apply. Go on, Sam, tell them. Okay, so Kathy won't be here tomorrow, but we'll watch the replay. Okay, can I get recording tomorrow? Yep, can't make live. Yep. Yeah, so if you can't come to this day tomorrow, well, if you're here, wherever, but tomorrow or Wednesday, you will get sent the replay the day after. So everyone else is going to get this tomorrow, and then Tuesday you'll get Wednesday you'll get Thursday. So you guys have got the advantage. I will answer you in a sec, Rachel. Double book tomorrow. Yeah, you can join late. That's fine. Not sure if I'll make tomorrow. May or may not be back from work. That's fine. Any advice on how to stay asleep? Okay, I'll do the sleep questions in a sec. But this is free. This is a free challenge, right, guys? So it's free. All we want is for people to apply who are serious about changing. No time wasters. I'm very, I said about wasting my time earlier. Like I'm getting very strict on people who think and hope that things will change, but don't actually want to take action. I'm not here for that. It's a disservice to you guys for me to be like, yeah, here's more information that you're not going to take action on. I'm not down with it anymore. I'm really dialing that in. And it hurts. It hurts because I am a giver, as you probably know. But ultimately, I want you guys to get results. That's the most important thing. So getting this challenge in. There are 30 spots available. It is not first come, first serve. It is who we think are the best 30 fit. So when you apply, make sure you're not just like motivation or whatever. Like, sometimes you get those kind of answers like, what are you struggling with? Motivation. Can't help you with that one. I'm afraid that has to come from within. No worries. 70 challenge. More for people wanting to lose weight, or can you join even when maintenance? Yeah, you can still learn because it's about hormones. So lots of people do lose weight, or inches, I should say, rather than weight. But if you want to gain muscle or maintain whatever it's going to be the same things apply. It's just a little bit of a tweak. You still want your hormones to be in good place because otherwise your growth hormone won't secrete, and that is what you want to build muscle. 70 challenge. Oh no, I've read that one. I'm just really, really keen. Okay, cool. So that is that. Any questions, which I've seen? Okay, let's pull up the questions. I love being put on the spot, guys. Let's move this. Okay. Rachel, how long before bedtime should you cut out blue light? I would recommend 60 minutes. 60, no 1 6, guys. 60 minutes. So 1 hour before bed, turn off your phone, laptop, iPad, and TV. What am I going to do? I know, right? You have to find like a hobby, like reading or drawing or mindfulness or meditation or something like that. That's what you need to be doing. Skincare, do your hair, you do your nails, do that kind of stuff. Knit. I know some of the girls crochet in the group. Any advice how to stay asleep? Depends what the problem is, basically. Obviously, it's going to be a depend, right? So if you're getting up for a week, then that I would suggest pulling your last drink earlier on in the day. You can sip towards bed, like, now for me it's 10 to 9. So I'm still going to be like sipping this, but I'm probably not going to chug the whole thing, to be honest, before I go to bed. But I will try and stay hydrated. If it's that you have got no reason, sometimes this is actually because you haven't got daylight in the day. So your body is now not asleep. It can't sleep. Or maybe you ate too late. So your digestive, this happened to me the other night. I had a protein shake too late, guys. It was too late. My stomach did not agree with it. I woke up at 1. I stayed awake until about 3 because I just could not digest this protein shake. So sometimes that's the problem. If you've got like hot flashes, there are some supplements you can try, and magnesium is also a magnesium glycinate is also a good supplement for sleep as well. Sue has very nicely put the link in. Can't get to that link. Oh, I will check this in a sec. It will be good for both learning about foods that are good for your gut health. Yep. And those that are good for all phases. Correct. When does the 7 days challenge start? Monday, Tori. I wrote it on the slide. Monday. Not enough daylight is a common reason why babies don't sleep at night. Yep. So why would it be different for us big ones? Exactly. Most parents give their kids bedtime routines, and even their dogs. Right? They let the dog out for a wee wee poo poo before they go to sleep. My sister gives them a little treat before bed. I don't recommend that for adults, for people, for humans. Don't have a treat before bed, right? But going out, maybe kids have a bath, they have a bed, I don't know, have a story, and then they go to bed, right? You have cuddle and go to bed. That's what they do. So you guys need to have a routine as well. Okay, fab. Thanks, Sue. Yeah, that's all right, Tori. I'm just playing. Yes, so Monday starts. And another thing is your baby can actually pick up your circadian rhythm as well, and your heart rate is a heartbeat as well. So, if you are with child, right, maybe when like you wrap it around you and you stick it on you, basically, that is really good for basically aligning your heart rates and your energies, if you believe in that kind of stuff. Perfect. All right, guys, it is working. Except for Susan Parker. No, she is working. Okay, cool. Thank you, Sue, for putting that link in there. Has anyone got any more questions on stress, on sleep, on dogs, anything? Happy to discuss. Let me click through. I'm gonna just click through and see if it looks like anyone is typing. Everyone's like, no, I'm not typing. Louise's phone is going all over the place. So either she's typing to me or she's messaging someone else. So, okay, yeah, it's to me. There you go. Thank you again. This is good. I've got to get going now for my swim. Enjoy, Louise. Enjoy your swim. See you. Fantastic. I just can't sleep all night. Thanks, Faye. No worries. So some people, I don't like to, right, let me start again. Okay, so there is a thing called a chronotype, and you guys have probably heard of night owls and morning larks, I think it's called, yeah, the two chronotypes. There's actually four chronotypes. There's like bear, a lion, a dolphin, and the last one escapes me. But there's four different ones, and they basically say that your body releases different chemicals at different times of the day because of the time that you go to sleep. So, yes, if you are a dolphin, they are typically, there's like 5% of the population, they're typically insomniacs, they don't sleep very well, they you know, they work better later on in the day, but obviously not too late because they're tired. Whereas like the bear rises and sleeps with the sun, basically it follows the sun. So in winter, it's going to be less active during the day and it's going to like basically hibernate at night. Whereas in the summer, you probably got more energy, more get up and go. Okay. So there's four different types that do this kind of thing. In saying that, there has been a study where they took 20 people, maybe more, up to a mountain. They were all like different people, like they weren't all night owls or all, monarchs or whatever. They took 20 people up to the mountain with no electronics, nothing like that, and they all fell asleep within half hour of each other, which kind of disproves the chronotype situation. But again, I'm flexible with how I learn and what I learn, but I like to give you guys, as much as I can. So take with that what you can. But if the chronotypes are true, then maybe you are a dolphin in that case, and maybe you're not going to be able to sleep. But having a good bedtime routine, having a good morning routine, magnesium, not eating too late, having those like, I don't know if you know, Jackie, the 8, 4, 3, 2, 1 thing that we talk about. So yeah, doing those kinds of things, that could be helpful as well. Apologies, there's like some dogs barking. Gotta go, there's some dogs barking. I am more of a night owl, but still get 7.5 hours good sleep. Yeah, you can still get the good sleep. remember, the idea is that you go to bed and wake up the same time every day, even on weekends, that is as well, guys. So don't be like, oh yeah, Monday to Friday when I'm at work, I'll wake up at 6, and then on my weekend I'll have a lay in and wake up at 10. Doesn't Is not helpful, okay? Um, so they are a couple of things, but Jackie, we can look into playing with a couple of things for you as well. Could be stress as well, right? Like if you're stressed, it could be stress. And obviously hormones as well, as in like if any of you guys are going through perimenopause, menopause, then sleep is probably going to be one of the things that you miss for a while. And if you've got kids, babies, then you probably, again, you're not likely to be able to have solid out, 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours sleep, right? Um, the other question I normally get asked is, I sleep 5 hours and I feel fine. You might feel fine, but that is not optimal. Okay. And a lot of people are like, well, I feel fine. Well, think about if you felt better, right? Just by going to bed half hour earlier, even better. And the other thing is, one of our clients mentioned the other day in the States, the clocks are changing this weekend. In the UK, they are changing the end of the month, I think. So just be aware that that is going to, lovely, throw off all of your hormones. It is more likely to make you more hungry. It's more likely to make you angry. Your menstrual cycle could be off. Your cortisol, your stress might be all over the place. So just make sure that you are preparing for this. A bit later for you guys in the States, but if you're in the UK, you can start going to bed like 15 minutes earlier this week. Then, oh wait, that is it earlier. It's going forward, isn't it? So 15 minutes later, sorry, apologies. 15 minutes later this week, then 15 minutes the week after, then 15 minutes the week after, 15 minutes the week after, right? So near enough, a full hour there, and that will help your body change in time with it. Change your bedtime is what they recommend for your kiddos too. Exactly. I don't know why people are like, we'll do it for the kids, but fuck your health. Like, I don't understand why they do that. It messes up all my lives times. It does, yes. All of our clients are always like, what time is it? Where? What time is it? Um, it doesn't matter what time I fall asleep. I'm up at 3 or 4 a.m. every day. Yeah. And if you've got like things like if you've got any autoimmune diseases, then that can be a thing. And also if you are used to it, your body's now used to it. So you've got to really like train yourself by first of all, not stressing about getting back to sleep, getting up, maybe having a nap later. So building that up. And then there are other things you can do, like sleep deprivation, but I don't recommend that unless you're under like direct supervision by someone who knows what the hell they're talking about. Um, Good bedding is really important for sleep. Yeah, hot flushes were hugely helped with a wool-filled mattress cover. This is all natural fiber. You wouldn't think that with wool, would you? You'd be like, oh my God, it's boiling. And pure cotton sheets. Yeah, cotton. Cooling pillows. Yeah. I recommend that people, if you get hot flashes, have a change of pajamas or nightie or whatever you're gonna wear close to your bed so you can get up and change, feel a bit better, get back into bed. And a flannel or a cloth in cold, maybe iced water. So in the middle of the night, you can just pick that up and like put it on the back of your neck, put it on your wrists, put it wherever to cool down your legs or something. And that way you can get back to sleep, hopefully. Trouble is, gotta get up the same time for work. But I'm doing 10 minutes later this week. Yeah, it is. That's the thing, like there's optimal and then there's realistic, right? We can't say to our boss, a lot of people, well, I'm going to be, 10 minutes late this week because in 3 weeks' time, it's the change of clocks. I want to make sure I'm missing because your boss will be like, an awful lot. So we can do what we can, but maybe going to bed that little bit later might help. And it also builds up sleep debt, which might make you sleep a bit better when time comes. Um, they don't. We can look after ourselves. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay, I got home from a road trip 3 a.m. and couldn't get back to sleep because my body was up after that. I did get a nap in later, but it's a rough day. Yeah, exactly. Things like that are really terrible. There is an app called Time Shifter, and that basically you put in a trip. For example, if you go in, or we're going to America for a conference in a couple of weeks, so it now will tell us on those days you're up to travel what time we should go to sleep what time we should wake up, when should we be utilizing caffeine, when we should be using blue light blocking or, getting darkness, eliminating electronics. And it will basically give us that bedtime routine and caffeine strategy until we get to the other side so that we're in sync. Again, can everyone do it? No, because your boss is like, no, you can't have a nap at 3 p.m. Okay, you're working. People need you. But in an ideal world, that's what we would do. And then, yes, like Claire says, the dark mornings, right? So it's dark here in the morning when I get to work, then there's no windows at work, see the daylight at 10 a.m. So a light alarm would be really helpful for you then. And probably, guys, for a majority of you, vitamin D would really help as well, especially in the winter. I think it's very helpful. Thank you, very helpful. Sorry, I have to go now and do dogs. That's right, Marie. Do the dogs. They're probably like pawing at the door, like it's dinner time. There you go, guys. So all 5 of them. Bloody hell. It's a good going, isn't it? Sunrise alarm clock. Yes, perfect. Um, there we go. I think that's everything, guys. Hopefully see you tomorrow. I appreciate you guys being here. And if you've got any questions, then of course just give me a shout. See you soon.